think she lived out in Sam's Valley or Gold Hill, somewhere in rural Southern
close,
Oregon.
It was close to us. It's just if you Google Oregon Pig Lady, she will pop right
there
up.
It is.
She's a local gem.
This is Opening Kill. The following program contains mature content, explicit language, and detailed discussion of on-screen deaths. Spoilers are unavoidable. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome to Opening Kill, your favorite horror movie podcast. My name is Michael Duran, and as always, I've got my co-host, Brian O'Connor. How are you feeling?
Doing pretty well. How about you, since you got to see the new Scream movie?
You know, pretty good. I was very excited, and I have to say, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding the movie, but as a movie, as just looking at it, as just a standalone movie, I think it was a lot of fun. I had a blast with it. The kills, probably the best kills in the franchise, honestly.
Really?
And yeah, I want to see it again. So I'm a very happy Scream fan.
Well, that's good news. That is good
Yeah.
news. Well, I'll tell you what I saw. It was a scare preview from just recently. It was the one you laughed at when I told you what it was called. Crazy Old Lady.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Spanish.
How was
it? It's a Spanish language film, so if you don't mind subtitles, it's worth the watch. It's basically think Misery meets Orphanage in a way. I mean, it's kind of bizarre. It's about a guy who his ex tells him or asks him if he can go check on her mother because she's hundreds and hundreds of miles away traveling with the kiddo, and she's been talking to her mom. Her mom obviously has some dementia or something going on because she keeps calling her while she's in the car and asking her the same thing over and over. The housekeeper is nowhere to be found. She apparently just left. Well, not really. She did leave permanently. And so dude says, yeah, I'll go check on her. And she captures him and literally chains him to a chair and tortures him. And I will say, like with a lot of movies, the trailer makes it look maybe a little bit better than it is, but still solid. I mean, the performances were amazing. Cinematography was great. It did get really disgusting and weird toward the end, but I would definitely check it out. Crazy Old Lady. It's on Shudder.
And I just wanted to say, speaking of good performances, Hannah and I saw your show.
Oh,
You Can't Take It With You. Just wanted to shout out. You did such a good job. We loved it. If you're a Southern Oregon listener, go check that play out at the Camelot because that was a ton of fun. We had.
I'm glad you guys. It was good to see you guys there, and you got a little date night out of it, away from the kids.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it was good to have you guys in the audience. So thanks for coming to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, shall we jump into this?
We shall.
Today's episode, a little movie from 2021 called Antlers. It was directed by Scott Cooper. It was written by C. Henry Chazen, Nick Antosca, and Scott Cooper. This was released October 29th, 2021. Runtime 99 minutes, rated R, and it was filmed not in Oregon, although it was set in Oregon. It was basically filmed in the little town of Hope, British Columbia, and other towns near Vancouver, BC. So I will say, it did look a little bit like Oregon in places where a lot of movies they claim are set in Oregon and don't look like Oregon at all. So there is that. Kerry Russell is in it. Jesse Plemons, who was great. Jeremy T. Thomas, Graham Greene, another amazing actor. And Scott Hayes, Amy Madigan, and Sawyer Jones. No budget information, but it did make about $19 million. And the tagline is, "Pray it desires not you." So pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, this is one I hadn't seen since I originally watched it in the theater, so I was excited to kind of like rewatch it because I had a very fond memory of it. So I'm like, I was wondering if it was gonna live up to that. I wouldn't say it necessarily does, but it's still really good.
Yeah,
There's a lot to like here for sure.
it was enjoyable for sure. I was nominated for a lot of awards, including a very prestigious one, the Bram Stoker Award for Screenplay. And it's a good story. It's a very cool story. So, as we alluded to, it takes place in an isolated Oregon town, and it's about a middle school teacher and her sheriff brother who become embroiled with a student whose dark secrets lead to terrifying encounters with an ancestral creature. And boy, it certainly is.
Yeah, that creature's pretty rad. That's
It really is.
definitely the best part of the movie. It was really well done. Good grief. Everything about the
Yeah.
design, execution, it's top notch.
Right. So the name of the town is Cispus Falls, Oregon, and I guess it's supposed to be somewhere in Central Oregon, is what I read. And
Okay.
it opens with a meth cook by the name of Frank Weaver. Nice guy, I'm sure. And he and a pal of his are operating a meth lab deep inside this abandoned mine. So one evening, while his young son, 7-year-old Aiden, is waiting in the truck, something ancient and unseen attacks Frank and his partner in the darkness. And only Frank makes it out alive, which means right out of the gate,
The opening kill.
Yeah.
So I have mixed feelings about this. I mean, I'm glad that it happened soon and it really got things rolling, but you don't actually see it. So unfortunately for me,
Right.
it's got to be a butter knife.
Yeah, like the setup and the scene of the kill is really good. Like there's a lot of like tension and stuff, but yeah, I mean, if we're ranking the kill, you don't see it. So I guess by default, butter knife,
Right.
right? Yeah,
Which is too bad.
it is too bad because there's some really good kills in this, and I'm sure this one was gory. I'm sure it was a good one, but we just didn't see it.
Based on future kills in this movie, I would assume the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, like crazy to bring your kid to your meth lab.
Yeah,
Like,
that's bad.
I get
bad
it.
parenting
Babysitters are hard
skills.
to get. Like, I get it. I'm living that struggle. Babysitter's not always the easiest, but maybe don't take your kid to work if you're a meth labber creator
Bad parent.
thing.
Bad parent.
Yeah, bad parent. Bad parenting. And as we see later on, yeah, that's the correct assumption to make is that he is a bad parent.
Yep, totally. So 3 weeks go by. Frank's older son, Lucas, has become very withdrawn. And there's shots of him roaming the streets and roaming through the woods alone. And he's collecting roadkill and small animals to bring home. We don't know why. I mean, I was first kind of thinking, this is something that's just very diabolical. This kid is so messed up. But we do find out there's
Right.
a reason he's bringing all of these dead animals, in some cases live animals, home. His teacher, Julia Meadows, who is played by Kerry Russell, is very disturbed by some violent drawings that he's done and his erratic behavior. And she's got her own problems. She just came home
Yeah.
after her father's suicide, and she's carrying all kinds of scars from her abusive childhood. So that's where she gets this urge to really protect Lucas because she thinks, something really bad is happening.
Right. She's definitely sees a little bit of herself within Lucas, and we get little flashbacks to her childhood, and it did not look fun. It looked it looked awful in every way a child's, growing up could be. It just
Yeah.
you get little. It never explicitly says what the father does, but you can tell. Like
You can guess
it's
what he
not.
did to her.
Yeah, it's not good, and yeah, she's a recovering alcoholic. She's struggling as well, and coming back home is not necessarily the easiest thing for her either.
Right. Totally. And her brother, Paul, Jesse Plemons, is the town sheriff, and he's kind of skeptical about, why she's concerned. I mean, he still is kind of concerned, but he's not as concerned as she is. So
Right,
he's
because
kind of
he's
like,
had
yeah,
run-ins
you
with
know,
the dad, and he knows he's not like a great dude. So he's like, I mean, stuff's going on for sure, but like, I don't know if we need to be involving ourselves, kind of.
exactly. Yeah. And, probably should have just done that, to be honest. I mean, you
I
want to
mean,
help, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's a tough situation for sure.
yeah.
And yeah, Lucas just like, I'm sure he's a sweet kid. He comes across so fucking creepy in this, though. Just everything about him, and a lot of it's not his fault. He looks malnourished, he has
Mhm.
these like sunken in eyes, and he just looks unkempt and unsettling to look at. And I mean, you do feel bad for him, especially when you
Right.
see him like we learn that he's basically turned into like a parent to a beast, and he's doing his
Mhm.
best to keep his family together. I do have to commend him on his dedication to his school while he's raising the methed out beast of like the Pacific Northwest. Like that was
Right.
impressive.
I thought so too. And you and I have definitely had issues with some child actors
Yeah.
in film. This kid was damn good.
He holds his own. I mean, it's his
Yeah.
movie, but essentially, and he owns it. And even when he doesn't have a ton of lines, like his physical acting, you know exactly what he's feeling. Like he's really, really impressive.
Hmm.
I don't think I've really
Right.
seen him in anything since, which is kind of a shame because he's got the
Yeah.
talent.
Yep.
He does have a very unique look, though, so I don't know how marketable that is, I guess. I don't.
True. True.
Yeah.
And even the kid who plays his little brother,
Yeah,
he's not a bad actor either, and he's a
not at
couple
all.
2-3 years younger. So yeah. Julia decides to go visit the Weaver home, and she gets there. She senses that something is very wrong. There are strange noises coming from upstairs. So she does what you should do and takes off. Why stick around
Yeah.
when, you've got stuff like that going on? Too many people decide, oh, let's go inside and see what's happening in this house that could be haunted and weird. And it looks like
Right.
nobody has lived there in a very long time. I mean, it's
Oh,
really
yeah,
run down.
it's very run down, so it does not look maintained. You could have told me no one's lived there in 20 years, and I believe you.
Yep, completely.
Has someone not lived here in 20 years, or is it a meth house? Very hard to tell the difference.
It really is. Yeah.
And I
Or it could be,
appreciate that they really kind of showcased Oregon's problem with meth. I'm like, thanks for putting that on the forefront, guys. We're
yeah,
known for other things too.
yeah, exactly. But thanks for pointing that out to the world.
Yeah, sure, we have a problem with it, but there's other things about us that are cool.
Exactly. So we meet former Sheriff Warren Stokes. This is Graham Greene. He's an incredible actor. You've probably seen him in a lot of different things.
Hmm.
And now he discovers pieces of Frank's buddy, who was our opening kill, scattered around the woods and also in the mine as well, along with a mysterious antler fragment. And
Hmm.
so it's kind of a grisly discovery.
Yeah, and we got the first appearance of Antlers, which is in the title, so it's good to know that we are going to get our fair share of antlers. And I mean, this movie kind of did play off. They didn't fully tell you what the creature was. As someone who is interested in this creature, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I know exactly what that is. So I do like that they don't fully come out and say it until quite a bit into the movie. So you kind of are left in the dark as to what this creature is. But
Mm-hmm.
it's there's a little hint as to what it could be.
There is. And I will say this is a step up from last week's movie, which was called Frogs, where you never saw
Right.
frogs, you saw toads, and they had nothing
True.
to do with the plot of the movie. And now we actually have Antlers, which is in the movie Antlers, and they do play
Right.
a fairly important role. So I think we're moving in the
Yeah.
right direction now.
I mean, there really
But
was only one way, and it was up
yeah,
from
y-
frogs.
exactly. Oh God, you couldn't go. Well, I guess maybe you could, but it would take something very special to go down from frogs. So trying to think, and
Something
nothing,
truly special.
something truly special. In the meantime, Julia pressures the school principal Ellen, who is played by the wonderful Amy Madigan, to go check
Yes,
on
who's
the
just
family.
won an award for her Aunt Gladys performance.
She
So
did.
shout out, shout out.
She's an amazing actress. I'm a big fan. So yeah, she decides, okay, I'll go check on the family. Big mistake. She goes into the house, door is kind of
Yeah.
open, so she just helps herself in, which that's never a good sign when you can do that.
No.
And she discovers this attic room that is locked with a chain, couple of chains and padlock and everything else. And she walks into this room and is immediately killed as
Yep.
antlers rip through Frank's body. So that's where Frank has been hanging out, in this attic, and he's been
Yeah.
locked up.
Eating bird pieces and roadkill. And he's kind of just looks like he's losing all his hair. He just looks like gross and icky. And then Antlers just rips out of his body.
Yep.
And the titular Wendigo, that's what we're dealing with. Wendigo bursts out of
Yes.
his body.
Love me some Wendigo stories.
Me too.
Yeah, these are actually the Wendigo folklore is very interesting to me, and it is one of my favorite subgenres when you get into this. And I think they did a nice job here. So kills 2 and 3, we have Ellen, who's now dead, and technically we have Frank, the human, who is basically dead,
Right.
and now the transformation is complete. The Wendigo has taken him, so that's big.
Yeah. And then we have a lovely scene where Lucas is just walking home from school, and this douchebag classmate named Clint Owens, he starts to bully Lucas, says some not very nice things to him at all. And then he luckily does get his comeuppance when the Wendigo jumps out of a tree and rips him to shreds. So there we go. Death number 4.
And this one didn't bother me because there were a couple of
No.
previous scenes with Clint, and he was just a dick. I mean,
He's
the way
awful.
he treated Lucas, it was just a typical school bully, but he was just mean. And, like a lot of movies that have bullies, he had a couple of buddies with him that, were
Yep.
doing the same thing. But Clint was definitely the ringleader.
And it's just like, I don't like bullies what a hot take. I don't like bullies. But I don't, I really, it bums me out in movies, especially in a situation like this where like Lucas's life is absolute like shit. And the last thing he needs is to be bullied at school. And so like, I hate Clint. Leave poor Lucas alone. He's been through enough. But he's not going to be messing with anyone anymore because he's dead and ripped apart.
The look on his face when the Wendigo was coming at him, it was like, oh, this is so cool. Bye-bye.
That's pretty
Bye-bye.
rad. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's enjoy your death.
Yeah, enjoy. At least you'll be one with nature. You're out in it, so
yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, Lucas flees home to find his brother Aiden missing, and then he sees Ellen Booth just ripped apart on the floor. We got some cool gore effects here.
Yeah. So Ellen obviously is reported missing, and police end up finding her body near the Weaver house alongside a charred corpse believed to be Frank's. And like you said, Aiden is nowhere to be found, and Lucas is hospitalized. They take him to the hospital to get him checked out because, like you said, he looks horrible. He looks severely malnourished and abused. And I don't know if they did any CGI to make him look the way he did, or if that's just he's a kid growing into his body and that's kind of how he looks. But he looked like something bad had happened.
I would at least hope they did something, because otherwise poor kids just looks malnourished and starving.
Yeah. And the doctor,
I would assume they at least did some shadows on his eyes, hopefully, because those eyes are sunken in. It's crazy.
They definitely did some makeup effects on his face to give him that the hollow socket look, But even the doctor, he comes out and he's talking to the sheriff and his sister Julia, and saying how he's malnourished. And one of the last things he says to them also is that he's definitely been abused in some way. So yeah, it's very sad, very sad.
Yeah. And
And
then so
Julia
Julia
takes him
and
in.
Paul, yeah, but Julia wants to like be his guardian, and Paul's
Mhm.
not super into that. But she's kind of just like, I can't not. Like, she's very drawn to this kid, and he's not. I mean, it's either that or he goes to the state, and
Right.
unfortunately, that's rarely the best place for the kids. So
I was going to say no one wants to see that happen. So
yeah,
yeah, and this is also where we get the flashback now, and we find out what really
yeah,
happens. So after that initial attack in the beginning of the movie, Frank, Lucas's father, returned home, and he was infected by something monstrous from the abandoned mine slash meth lab, and he basically locked himself and Aiden in the attic because Aiden started showing symptoms too, and he
yep,
told he told Lucas he installed the locks on the door
yeah,
and before he went inside, and he told Lucas, no matter what you hear, do not open the door and let us out. Do not. I mean, he knew something bad was happening.
right,
And so, yeah, all the animals and roadkill Lucas has been collecting, that they're not trophies or anything like that's what I thought it was at the beginning, that he was
right,
just this disturbed kid and he was killing animals for the fun of it. Like, how all serial killers seem to start. Right. But
right,
it was food for his brother and for his father. So great
yeah,
plot twist, I thought, because it really zigzagged right there. You're like, oh shit, I actually didn't see that coming. So yeah,
right. And like it does, even though he's clearly not a good guy, it does show that at least the dad tried to keep Lucas safe, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like he should have just called the cop. Like there were so many other things he should have done before just being like, all right, just don't let us out. Go, I
Right.
guess, be an adult in the world. So lots of questionable decisions still, but I did like that at least showed that he was trying to keep everything contained and not become a killer Wendigo and escape into the world.
Right. Right. Former Sheriff Warren, we go back to him. He identifies the creature from Lucas's drawings. It is, in fact, the Wendigo. It's an Algonquin legend of insatiable hunger, deer-like demon that spreads from host to host, and we find out it can only be killed while feeding by destroying its heart.
Yep.
So, very interesting story. There's no doubt about what this is now. And, the sheriff is obviously not really buying into this. He doesn't
Yeah.
believe it. Julia kind of tends to believe this, that this is actually what's going on.
Right. And I mean, she's seen a little bit more than the sheriff, though, so she's, at
Right.
least is more willing to believe.
So now we have the transformed Frank, and he's using Aiden as bait to lure and eventually kill Deputy Dan, who we don't really get to know that well, but he works for the sheriff, and he has a very brutal kill that happens to him for kill number 5.
And we do right before that, though, we get this cool scene where Lucas is in Julia and Paul's house, and Julia's telling Lucas that her father died, kind of just trying to relate. But Lucas is like, "My dad's not dead," and she's like, "Well, honey, he is. We found his shell of a body." He's like, "Not like he's been reborn, and as long as I keep him fed, he's going to love me again." And so like that's just another heartbreaking scene. You're
Oof.
like, God, this movie is not a feel good. It really makes you feel like shit.
Right. No, it's you're right, absolutely. You just kind of walk away with it going, oh, yeah, if you wanted a
All
very
right.
uplifting ending, and trust me, the ending, it gets even worse when we get to the end of this thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very heartbreaking to see all of this happening to this poor kid, right? I mean, he didn't ask for
Yeah.
any of this, and now he's got to
No.
carry it all. So
Yep.
yeah, the Wendigo actually injures Paul, the sheriff. He's wounded pretty bad, but he's able to escape death.
He gets
And
stabbed with the antlers like through the wall, and like he's
Yeah.
like impaled on him, and he's able to then like he grabs like a spike and ends up hitting like the Wendigo, and it lets him go. But yeah, he gets impaled with some
Yep.
antlers.
He does. And I actually thought he was going to die in this scene. And
Yeah,
he didn't. He survived miraculously.
yeah.
So
And
it was brutal.
Julia, yeah, I was like, oh, that's a wrap on him, but nope.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Julia's kind of helping nurse him a little bit, and then Lucas sees Aiden and follows Aiden and the Wendigo back to the mine, aka the meth lab.
Yeah. And that means, Julia and Paul follow. Julia, I mean, she wants to get him to a hospital because of his injury. And he's like, no, let's go. We got to go. We got to go do this. And yeah, then we go down into the mine now after they both get there. And Julia ends up finding Lucas and Aiden and the reanimated Frank in full monstrous form. And this is kind of a cool scene, though.
So cool. Like the showcase of it where you see it and there's a human face on it, Frank's face, and then it just slips off. Like it's wearing the mask of the human. Like that is crazy. And then you see like it's more of this just like cracked like deer skull, but it has like kind of like alligator like jaws. It's a really cool design. Like this thing looks so fucking sick.
It does. It really does. And he's feeding on a black bear when they first get in there, which is kind of a disgusting sight to see because he's just eating right out of the middle of it. But it's fresh meat. So, yeah. Not processed or anything else.
Better than it's better than the roadkill he was eating earlier. So
that's true. This is an upgrade for him. So
this is 5-star dining.
Right. So we get this big confrontation. And Julia ends up killing the Wendigo possessed Frank. Lucas actually helped. And that's kill number 6, the body of the Wendigo. But the spirit doesn't die. Where does it go, Michael?
It goes into little Aiden.
Yeah.
Little Aiden is starting to his transformation into the Wendigo. And Lucas is kind of like, not like he's just sick. This is like it's fine, and Julia's like, "Nah, man. Like we gotta. It's too late. Like we gotta just kill this kid, this really young kid." And she ends up embracing Aiden and then stabs him to death. So,
and she's telling Lucas not to watch, turn around, and this was the most heartbreaking part of this entire movie because he was a cute kid. I mean, he was adorable. Not that should have anything to do with it, right? But
only the cute kids get
only the cute kids. So but no, it was heartbreaking to watch how this went down for sure. Yeah. And
add that to his list of traumas.
Yeah, and that ends the curse, kill number 7. Or so it might be the end of the curse. Yeah.
Right. Because we then see Julia and Paul kind of talking about caring for Lucas. And Paul kind of asks her, she's like, what if, he kind of ends up being the Wendigo again? Are you going to be able to kill him? And you think he's kind of talking about Lucas, but in reality, he's talking about himself. Is she's going to be able to kill him because he then coughs up discolored blood due to the Wendigo wound. So looks like he is now infected, and he was kind of just like checking with her. I'm like, are you going to be able to kill what you love the most? Like, let's make sure we've got this ready to go because you're probably going to have to.
Yep. And and there we go. We cut to black, and that is Antlers. So this was my first time ever watching this. It's been on my watch list for a long time. I'd never gotten around to seeing it until just now. And it wasn't what I was expecting, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done.
No, it's really good. The creatures effects, definitely the star of the show. And I mean, it pulls on your heartstrings. Like it's a really sad movie. And I think this is the first time watching it where I've like been a father, and so I think like just
Oh,
seeing the kids like did not sit as easy as it used to. Like I was really struggling through this one. But so that's why I didn't like it as much. It's not that it wasn't good, but I just
right.
like I didn't like how it made me feel.
We had that discussion, I think it was maybe earlier this season or last season about since you became a parent, and even Hannah also
Yeah.
cannot watch certain horror films if it involves
Yeah.
children now that you guys are parents. So that definitely makes a big difference
Oh yeah.
in that. So yeah, nothing against the movie, but there are some like that one with John
Right.
Lithgow that I watched that because my mom had gone through some pretty traumatic stuff near the end of her life, and watching him go
Right.
nuts in that nursing home was like, okay, this is triggering just a little bit.
Right.
So,
For
same
sure.
thing,
Like,
but yeah, for sure. Final kill count, a respectable 7 entities died
yeah.
in this film. So yeah. Who was your favorite character?
Um Probably I'm gonna go with Lucas. Like, you just feel you just feel for him, and
Mhm.
he carries it on his back, and like yeah, he's a cool character.
Right. I think for me, it was Julia just because of her caring nature and wanting to help and the sacrifice that she had to make, and it was
Yeah.
yeah, I thought she was pretty strong. Um, my favorite kill was actually Ellen, the principal, Amy Madigan's character, because it was so brutal, and I wouldn't say it was
Yeah.
unexpected, but it was unexpected in a way, and,
Yeah.
it was pretty gory, so I thought that was like, "Okay."
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite kill as well. It's kind of like the first moment where we see the Wendigos like birth and then the kill and like everything.
Mhm.
It's a it's definitely a pivotal scene as well. Like yeah, that's my favorite kill.
Favorite scene was the forest scene where Clint gets his, just sufficiently creepy, and you can hear the Wendigo creeping around him, and then
Yeah.
the whole reaction to where Clint realizes, "Uh-oh," and then, yeah, Lucas just takes off, and that was it. So, probably my favorite scene.
That's a good one. My favorite scene is a very lighthearted one. It's where Julia sees Lucas walking home and she invites him into like the ice cream shop to give him some ice cream. And I do like it because she's like talking about how ice cream's her favorite vegetable. So I was
Oh,
kind of
that's right.
chuckling because I'm like, this teacher, I don't know if she knows what a fruit and a vegetable is, but it's definitely not ice cream. But it was really cute, just her kind of trying to relate to Lucas, and it was a moment that a genuinely heartfelt, fun moment in the midst of this very dreary and sad film. So that was my
Right.
favorite scene.
How screwed are we? Oh, totally screwed. You don't mess with
I
a
mean,
Wendigo.
yeah,
Mm-mm. No, I'm not getting away from this.
no,
We're not dealing with toads, okay? We're dealing with a
exactly.
Wendigo. So, yeah.
And this is probably like the most badass Wendigo I've ever seen. It's not your traditional Wendigo. This thing is like the Hulk
Yeah.
almost.
It really is. Final girl score, we can give this to Julia. I'm going to give her a 9. I'm going to go high on this one.
Yeah, she's great. She's a caring, sweet, does what she needs to do. I'll give her like an 8. Yeah,
Okay. What
yeah.
do you give it for a star grade?
Uh, think about 3.5 or 4.
Okay.
I'll give it a 4. I'll round up. It's good. Like, it's a really good movie. It seems to be pretty divisive. A lot of people don't really
Mhm.
like it, but
Right.
I dig it. It's a very specific mood I would have to be in to watch it again.
Sure.
So it's not just a sit down, pop it on, have fun. It's a I'm in the mood to feel pain. Um, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
For me, I give it a 4.5. So I'll go
Yeah.
just a little bit tiny higher. I just, I really enjoyed this. Wasn't quite the 5, but it was pretty solid. I just thought, the cinematography especially I thought was really good,
Hmm.
and some of the effects were incredible. And again, it's tough when you get kids in movies. Um, Sometimes you get a great performance, sometimes they're not quite ready for the big screen yet, but you
Right.
know, they get thrown into these projects. But I thought these two young kids actually did very well in this. So yeah.
And the effects in this, there's so much practical. Like they did a really good job with the practical effects in this, from the corpses to the creature itself. Like whenever it's not like running and jumping around, it's a practical effect. So
Right.
they really utilize that, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. Slasher survival tip: if something in your attic is breathing wrong, eating raw meat, and whispering your name at night, that's not a phase. When the house starts sounding hungry, you don't investigate, you evacuate. I think that's sound advice.
That's sound, yeah. I'll jot that down and keep it in mind.
Okay. Coming up, the scare preview. First, want to say hi to Courtney at Jaunty Haunts, who noticed that her social media machine has ramped up in the last couple of weeks. She is getting ready to do more things. And in fact, we're going to be recording with her very soon for one of her episodes. And she'll be joining us at the end of March, I believe, to finally go over Sleepy Hollow. We're finally back on track. So that's a movie we wanted to do with her, since she was there a few times while living on the East Coast. But check out Jaunty Haunts. She kept a secret for 30 years.
Yep, and she is able to see ghosts, and so she has a ton of crazy stories to tell just from her personal experiences, but then she also brings others on to tell their stories as well. And she's not just talking about ghosts. There's ghouls, witches, vampires, all sorts of creatures, anything paranormal, she's going to tackle it. So check out that podcast wherever you get your favorite podcasts. That's Jaunty Haunts.
The Scare Preview.
So, a bunch of new movies coming out this year. One of them is called The Hermit. And if you've seen the trailer for this yet, Michael,
I have not.
Directed by Salvatore Sclafani, stars Lou Ferrigno. That's right, the Incredible Hulk. Melina Weissman is in it. Anthony Turpel is in it. Screenplay by William Walkerly. So basically, dragged on a vacation to the woods, two self-absorbed teenagers fight for their lives against an unstoppable cannibal pig farmer.
Beautiful.
It actually just did come out just a couple of days ago, but it was close enough to where I wanted to put this on. It's on video on demand. And, here in Southern Oregon, many, many years ago, we had a crazy lady that lived in the area that had fed somebody to a pig. She killed him and then fed him to the pig. And I don't know if she's still alive. She's in prison if she is. But
she's in prison. She's alive.
Yeah, it just made me think of that story. It was a true thing. You can Google it. And I think she lived out in Sam's Valley or Gold Hill, somewhere in rural Southern Oregon.
It was close to us. It's just if you Google Oregon pig lady, she will pop right
there
up.
It is.
She's a local gem.
God,
that's the next movie for Oregon. We're known for meth and pig lady.
Yep, sure are. So come visit, please. If you're not from Oregon, we'd love to have you.
We have good wine.
I don't think we're going to get hired by the Oregon Tourism Board anytime soon, Michael.
Probably not, but it's not our fault. It's what the movies are doing to us.
I know. God. Anything coming out you're excited about?
Yeah, I don't know how good it's going to be, but I'm intrigued. I love Yetis and Bigfoots, and there hasn't been very many movies about those topics, surprisingly. But we do have one coming out called The Yeti. It's about these two individuals who vanished while in Alaska, and their children mount a search, but this ancient threat stalks their expedition into the wilderness, hunting them as they seek the truth behind the disappearances. It's not a very well-known cast, but it does have Jim Cummings, and I really enjoy him in everything he's done. He was in that Wolf of Snow Hollow. Really, really good actor, talented guy. So his name alone makes me a little bit intrigued. Trying to figure out when this thing comes out. I think it's soon-ish. Doesn't say, but it is this year.
Okay.
Yeah, can't find it. It's rated R for bloody violent, though, so that's kind of bloody violence and gore. So they have a rating, but not a release date. That seems kind of weird, but whatever.
That's interesting.
It is 2026, so
okay,
sometime soon.
Perfect. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that wraps it up for episode 58. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. Our good friend, horror author Stephanie Rose will be joining us for the 2019 movie Haunt. The day after that, on Friday, we have our second of 3 Friday the 13th. So we'll be dropping a bonus episode of Friday the 13th. We are up to part 3 now in this series.
Oh, yeah.
Not my favorite in the series, but we're going to bring that to you on Friday the 13th as well.
Yeah, we got quite a few exciting shows coming up, so it's a good time. If you have not, it's a good time to subscribe.
Absolutely. You can follow us on all the socials, Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well for the video version of Opening Kill.
Yep, check out our beautiful faces and hear the podcast as well. So YouTube's got audio and video, and then Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the rest of them. Subscribe there if you just want the audio.
Perfect. All right. Well, that is it. We will see you next week with the 2019 movie Haunt with special guest horror author Stephanie Rose. Thank you for checking out the podcast, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Opening Kill is produced by Mystic Cloud Productions and hosted by Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch the video versions on YouTube. See you next time, if you survive the opening kill.